All right, my final resupply is for Red's Meadow, which will be about 5 days out from the finish. So you've seen my Mount Williamson, you've seen my VVR. I'm going to do another video of my actual bear can that I'm starting the trail with, which is going to be pretty close to as heavy as the Mount Williamson. Red's is 5 days basically. VVR was 4, so but this one's going to be almost a little lighter than VVR because I think at this point you're going to have a lot of leftover stuff, and there are places as you're going into Yosemite that you could stop and eat if you have to or get resupply. So, you know, there's a lot less stress at this point as far as having enough. But let's start from breakfast. I've got this breakfast hash. I've got some granola with blueberries. I do like basically one of those every resupply. Peanut butter banana oatmeal. So I've only got 3 breakfasts that I'm bringing for these 5 days, but I've got my usual stuff. I can do one of these egg white bars for breakfast. I've got these power crunches, which also can work. They're really more of a dessert, but they can work in a pinch. Same deal as Kind bars. Those can work. We've got, and like I said, I think I'm going to have a lot of leftover at this point. So that's kind of breakfast. I've got my trail mix. I'm not bringing any granola for this point, but again, I think there'll be leftovers extra. We've talked about this. I like protein on the trail. I've got a bunch of these beef jerkies, which these are my favorites. These 2 different brands, the Chomps and the Archers. I'm not a huge beef jerky guy, honestly, but for the trail, it's convenient. It's protein. It packs some power. I'm throwing in these walnuts in there. Like to have some little extra nuts. My basic go-to lunch we've talked about is these coconut wraps that I pair with raw honey and peanut butter or almond butter. And it's not even my lunch. My lunch a lot of times is just whatever I'm snacking on, but that's kind of the bigger one. I've talked about these honey stingers, and I should probably have leftovers at this point, but bringing a strong supply of these because, frankly, in a pinch, man, they'll get you through. Again, bringing 1 thing of tuna, that could sub for something. Peanut butter cups, nice snack. I'm bringing an extra thing of wraps that you could put, I can actually put my dinners in there too as well. It's a nice one, and these will be my dinners for the last few days. These tacos, which are my favorite, and I'm just bringing 3 because there's places along the trail, and I think by this point, I think I'm gonna have extra. And one of these Santa Fe's again. Santa Fe's are just like, they're a really good price point, and I'm hoping that I'm doing like one every few days. So I'm hoping if I don't like them for some reason, you know, it'll be fine. My traditional suckers, my Manuka honey suckers, gotta have some chocolate. Got to have some hot chocolate for nighttime, and that even works for breakfast in place of coffee. Then these are all my salt tabs. Oh, there's actually a couple of these beef jerkies in there. But my salt tabs and my creatines, and I'm actually going to parcel these down, but they're going to go in there. Some extra wipes, some extra suntan lotion. The Grazie is going to VVR, so we don't have to worry about that. That's just extra stuff that's probably going in another pack. I'm actually going to send these peach slices to Reds because I have a feeling by this point I'm going to really be craving the fruit. So I'm going to throw a can of those in there, and I'm not going to do this on camera, but I'm going to fill this up with some of this Bullet Bourbon, and that'll be a nice little treat for the last couple days on the trail. We'll bring some extra eye drops. And that's it. That's going to get me hopefully home to Yosemite, and you know, to where there will be plenty of sources of food those last few days. So I'm not really too worried about this, but it's nice to have your own stuff just as a backup in your mind. But yeah, it'd be nice to have a light pack for these days too. So that's my resupply. We've got what we're carrying in the bear can. That video is going to be posted last because I'm waiting to poke holes in that. I want to show you how I do that to consolidate everything. Then we've got our Mount Williamson, we've got our VVR, and then we've got our final drop at Reds. See you on the trail.